Welcome to another episode of Bengals Brews. I am Dale Altman, joined by my co-host Arrow, Derek Davis, the Orange Penis, the Purple-Headed Yogurt Slinger, whatever y'all want to call him. So, anyways,
we are getting the game started right off the bat, huh?
Yeah, let's go off the rails right away. But we're gonna have quite a few guests tonight. I'm pretty sure, but you know our main course here is the Goodberry brothers. How we doing, boys?
They got their main course right out there.
Our main course. We got some wings, fucking wings right here.
We do it.
Yeah.
All right, go. Let's go ahead and get the Glenn rundown because it wouldn't be a show without getting the Glenn Goodberry rundown of the food and what we're starting with drinking.
That's right.
So Joe brought the wings today, and he brought Duff's. Duff's is great. So we've got medium sauce wings, traditional sort of buffalo style here, and the medium is actually kind of hot. So I'm already coughing a little bit on my first wing in.
It's got a little sweetness.
Yeah.
Little sweet heat.
And then we got our, we got to stay healthy too. So we got some blue cheese. Fuck that ranch. See that blue cheese?
That's some good shit.
And then carrots and celery. I don't know if you like threaded water sticks. I don't fuck with the celery.
I like the celery.
And then we have, this is called Ruby Red Kosh. It's made by Genesee Brewing. It's a Western New York thing. It's a seasonal beer. It's grapefruit flavored. And it's a spring and summer only beer. And it re-dropped a couple weeks ago.
Spring's here.
Hot shit just dropped.
Uh-huh.
Well, is spring here actually for you guys? Because I seen some snow pictures earlier, but how was
today?
Today was 65. I went for a bike ride. It was pretty nice. Tomorrow we're going to be 75 to 80. So
Now, are we talking, when we say bike ride, are we talking bicycle or are we talking
bicycle? Yeah, I got a murdered out all black beach cruiser, and I run.
You didn't see that? He's Debo of the neighborhood.
I'm Debo.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Suburban Niagara Falls here.
I love it.
Hide your wife, hide your kids, you know.
I'm snatching wallets. I'm snatching TVs, chains. We don't really have chains out here. It's more so tailgates. So I'm stealing tailgates from your pickups.
Getting to our buddy Hoss in the chat, which anybody that comes in the chat, like we're going to do the Jackpot Joey giveaway thing. If you guys have seen that, just through it. I'll go through it later. I'm not going to write it all down now, but give your prediction. Whoever joins the chat, give your prediction on who you think could be the pick at 31, or if we trade down or trade up, it's just pick a player. Like we're not going to be like, oh, no one won because we traded back. Ha ha ha. Like, we're not going to do that.
Exactly. I want to know how many Matt or Isaac picks we got in the first round.
Well, only Jake. He might join us later.
I was going to say, Jeff Turnerpool, where you at?
I sent Jake Lesko a link, and he may join and give us prediction. I have a feeling he will not go that way.
Yeah.
No, Jake's cool. He'll join.
But so we're going to talk about these shoes because I'm obsessed with them, apparently. First sent them to Glenn, but now I'm thinking I have to get them, even if it's just for a joke.
You have to at least wear them for the Buffalo game when we all go down there.
No, they're not even orange. Well, how much are these? I bet they're expensive.
$150 is what I heard.
My question is, do they come in more than one color?
Well, they would have to because I don't want the yellow. If it's yellow, because what can you do with that as the base?
I'll be honest. Duke Tobin wore those black and yellow sneakers to a pro day, and I was like, what is this shit? Anyone else feel that?
I didn't see it.
Were the black and yellow sneakers a thing? Do they know that he was wearing them?
I don't know. I saw it on a picture. He was sitting down and, at the 40 doing the timer. And I'm like, look at this.
I share a lot of sneaker pics through my Twitter. And obviously I got a lot of Bengals friends. I get fucking roasted when I post anything black and yellow. And I love black and yellow sneakers.
Yeah.
They're like, fuck.
We have to roast you like it's mandatory, though. I mean, it's nothing personal.
The Pirates and the Steelers.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like double.
Our city's black and yellow.
Well, and the Penguins. I'm just saying the Reds and the Bengals.
I love when cities color coordinate. I wish
I agree.
did it.
Yeah.
Well, I at least want like a USFL team that we could name the Tigers, and they're just tiger striped, and maybe they could come out with some of the cool helmets like we were talking about. Like Derek wants the black helmet, and Joe, you were saying you wanted the white one as an alternate.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I just love the whole Halloween theme. Ohio State, they do it every year. They got the whole blackout thing going on, and with us being black and orange, I just think that, or orange and black, I just think that'd be sweet. Do a nice the media content for all that would be awesome.
No, I agree. That would be cool for like a 1 or 2 year time, event every year. But like my logical brain is going like Tigers aren't black with orange stripes; they're orange with black stripes. I even like in the jersey, the black jersey with the orange stripes. I don't even like that, but I kind of have to think of it as like. It's not. It's the negative is the orange, and the black surrounding it is the black stripe. So just that's how I get through it. But a white helmet with the whole white, that would look, man, that'd be amazing.
I remember when the NFL switched over to Nike and from Reebok 10 or so years ago, and I remember having a conversation with Joe about because Oregon, and Nike's out in Beaverton, and Oregon always had these crazy combos, and would they bring sort of that flair to the NFL, especially you got traditionalists with the NFL and the uniforms and things like that. And unfortunately, they went with the helmet rule, the single helmet rule right around that time for studies and sort of really put a kibosh on any sort of like advanced creativity that Nike might be able to do with some of these teams. I wonder if we'll get that at some point.
Get something crazy.
Get something crazy.
Right.
Like I literally just bought a black Josh Allen jersey. I've never seen anything like it. And
I saw that today. That was pretty sweet.
It's pretty awesome. And I was thinking, could the Bills do a black helmet and like a full black uniform and then pull off the red, white, and blue on top of that? I think that would
be like
sick.
Ohio State type when they that'd be a good thing.
Go ahead, Derek.
I was just about to say, and maybe that's my, like he said, Ohio State bias coming in, but throwing in the all black Buffalo Bills with the little bit of blue and a little bit of red, and then just that old school Buffalo Bills red helmet was what I was thinking of. How awesome would that be?
The red helmet, it's the 90s helmet, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, I'm hoping we get a 90s uniform for homage to those early 90s Super Bowl teams, obviously. But
I mean, they could wear this. I think their uniform looks close enough to that anyways. I think they could wear that with a red helmet.
They could, but I really there is something about that aesthetic of the Jim Kelly.
Like, don't half-ass it, go full.
Yeah, just go. They got the money. They can do it. It don't matter. It's the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah, how much money are they spending on their stadium this year?
$1.4 billion is the price.
Change.
They're talking about opening it in 2026 is going to be the first game.
Okay.
Wow. I was just going to say, I thought what you were saying with the shoes, though, like Bengals fans, I'm jealous because you guys have so many sweet, there's so many Nike combinations of like the blue and the red that I'm just in love with.
Yeah.
What, you talking the Bills uniforms right now?
Well, no, just Nike shoes in general,
Nike,
like the shoe game.
So I find it tough, honestly, for like a red, white, and blue, something that I really like. I get a lot of navy, like blue colors, but really hitting that Buffalo Bills blue.
That's right. You got to get the right blue.
You got to get the right blue. I'm wearing a Buffalo Bills Nike right now, actually.
These are dope.
These are what the trainers wore last year on field. They're the Nike Zoom Pegasus 38s, and they say Bills inside. Excuse me. These are super comfy. So I don't know. The Bengals ones, they sold out in like September last year, and you never saw them again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping to get me a pair, and then I was like, they'll be around. But hey, there he is.
Yeah, I want to bring Cap in because he's advertised as another of our main guests here, and he texted me a minute ago and was like, "Hey, I don't have a link. I thought I sent him one on Twitter, so I just sent him one straight up through text. My bad, Cap."
Hey, it's all good. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
All right, man. I miss you guys.
What's up, Cap?
It looks like I wore the appropriate hat.
Nice hat, yeah. I like
Very
that.
nice.
You got the gray color too. That gray combo is pretty tight.
That one is sick.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wait, we're just talking about alternates. Man, one day the Bengals go with a gray if they want to do something crazy, something weird, because the orange, black, and gray just look so good.
Oh yeah,
they released those limited edition jerseys this year, didn't they?
He's got
I got
Jamar Chase.
And it looks
good.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be pretty great looking. But Captain, it looks like you're drinking a little mead right there, a little Birmingham.
absolutely. Orange Blossom. The wife just ordered Orange Blossom, and funny enough, now I'll pause for effect. The wife ordered Slow, Deep, and Hard.
Oh,
I will repeat. I don't know if you're trying to tell me something or what, but
I thought maybe it was about the podcast. I was gonna say I got slow.
Yeah,
I got the slow cover.
I was gonna say you're definitely not looking at me for anything deep, but this is what I'm sipping on right here. This is called Redneck Riviera whiskey. It's pretty good stuff. I thought it was a bourbon when I grabbed it, but for just being just a regular whiskey, it's not too bad.
nice. Yeah, this isn't the as good as the King of the North, but it's still got that nice orange pop. So I like it. Finally got a little bit of weather to enjoy it.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if you can see it or not. I got a little too much weather today.
You guys are
we had to
flexing
go out
with
and.
sunburn.
Oh yeah.
The sunburn's a big flex to us Buffalonians.
Yeah, it snowed a few days ago.
Yeah.
I saw that there was a bunch of snow traffic jam somewhere. Was that you guys that shared that?
I didn't share any snow traffic jam. Easter morning, I went out to smoke some meat at 5 a.m, and I was out there in a blizzard.
Yeah,
I was like surrounded by flurries, and it was like 30 degrees, and I was like, "This is terrible."
Mm-hmm. Dale, what are you sipping on over there?
I've got an ice cold Miller Lite, and sponsored by Anheuser-Busch. The nectar of the gods. Shout out Miller Lite, although you won't interact with me on Twitter, so I'm about to switch. I'm up.
Yeah.
I can't be bought off.
Out.
Somebody sends me a fucking free 12-pack. They've got my loyalty.
Yeah.
Talk to Kenny about the Keystone thing.
Oh, I don't
exactly.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. I might get Old Milwaukee coming to me. I might get.
You guys getting
Natty
Keystone
Light
sent to you?
I was gonna say you got Natural Light coming your way.
I could do Natty Light. Give me a sponsorship. Let's do the Natty Ice. Give me the 5.0.
Yeah, I was gonna say the last time I had a Natty Light, I was about 10 minutes from your house, Dale.
What happened?
I'm just saying, I was 10 minutes. It was what, 12 years ago, 13 years ago?
Oh, you were down here in the Portsmouth area, so you're saying it's like you're trying to talk shit about my area. Okay, I got you.
That's what I was wondering. That's what I was picking up, but I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Hey, they got a good steakhouse out there.
With the river, man, it's the best.
Yeah.
All right, let's bring Santori on because we've had him in the background the whole time. I at least want to bring him on and get his prediction for 31. We may have a few other people pop on and give their prediction, here and there.
I have zero prediction for 31. I have no idea what the hell.
Then why the hell are you here?
The first thing he was going to say was that right there.
It just depends. I have no idea what the board's doing. It's not like when we're picking 1 or 5. You have no clue, man.
I'm going to remove you already. You're going to be the shortest lived stint.
Listen, I'm already the least popular person here. I know that.
What?
I don't know. That would have to be me because I don't have.
You stole the show with your sheep riding skills.
Farm segment.
Whatever the hell that was.
Hey, Jess.
Jess in the background.
Dropping off Sonic.
I mean, in all honesty, I've got a list of 5 guys that if they're there, I would be okay with. The thing that keeps throwing me off is, the Prophet Malik keeps saying we're going to go defense, but if Linderbaum's there, I'd be okay with Linderbaum. I feel like Kyler Gordon would be maybe a little bit of a reach in some boards, but I'd be okay with him. I personally like Logan Hall. I've been banging that drum. I have a really good feeling he's probably going to be there, and that kind of fits I hate to say the MO of the Bengals. It's not really their MO, but they don't have a whole lot of needs. But I feel like interior defensive line, specifically the pass rush, is a huge point of emphasis that they still need to work on.
For sure.
And he's flexible. And we've seen with the defensive line, especially with Hubbard and Sample, that they like guys that are flexible. So if I had to hitch my wagon to someone I really want, it's Logan Hall. But there could be better options. So that's kind of where I'm at.
All right. So you're going Logan Hall.
Sure.
All right.
That makes the conversation easier.
No, I just want to, we're going to have some people in and out. Brother, we'll have you back on sometime. I know you're going to be on with us next Saturday, right? For
yes,
our
sir.
recap episode.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Santori. Love you, buddy.
Hang on. Don't go.
Do you want?
Oh, sorry. Joe's got something.
For Santori, yeah. Because we've interacted a long time on Twitter, right? And I'm
Yeah.
going for the Thursday night game. It's way after midnight at this point, and I'm walking with my wife. Was it no? This is the
Jacksonville Jaguars. He just told us this over the last weekend.
Never mind. Go ahead. You guys are
No. He didn't tell us all of it. Go. You go.
So we're walking, and I hear Joe Goodberry, and I'm like. And he's like, Santori Miles. And I'm like, oh, great, buddy. So we hug real quick and keep it moving. But, it's one of those things where it's a guy I've interacted for a long time. So I'm happy to see him and happy to talk to him again. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm coming off of a 10-hour shift at work, and I want to die. But beyond that, I'm doing great.
That's how it goes.
Well, we were saying, Glenn, super cool. We were actually pumping up Glenn toward the end of this podcast episode we did. Me and Santori and Derek did. And then, and he's like, yeah, but Joe's cooler than Glenn. So he said because Glenn hugged me outside of this game.
No, Joe hugged me. Glenn did not.
And Glenn did not hug you, even though you probably didn't say hi to Glenn.
And Glenn's a hugger.
I am a hugger. I was trashed. That cap that night with you at the Blind Pig. That was some fucked up shit.
Dude, I loved it.
You gave me some of the darkest shit I've ever had. I was ready to throw up in a potted plant out there by the. Cap was like, we're doing shots. I'm like, let's do shots. I get this.
Patron XO.
It's like motor oil. What was that? What was that you had?
Patron XO. It's like coffee and tequila.
Oh my god!
I was about to say it sounded. If it came from Cap, it was probably tequila or bourbon.
Jesus, I took this shot. I had turned green. I had to get out of there.
He still talks about it. He's like, I got so fucked up that night. It fucked me up. A couple months, he didn't want to get hammered.
I was sober at that Jags game. I went in. I was drinking Coca-Cola that night just for the caffeine.
Oh yeah.
All right, Santori. We'll talk to you next week. All right.
A shot of hot sauce.
He's doing it right now.
Oh yeah.
What are you doing?
Just drinking hot sauce.
Oof.
And on that, he's out. Peace.
See you, Santori. I feel bad I didn't hug him too. I wish I would have.
Well,
I remember that shit.
Right.
He did. No, it's weird because we just recorded an episode to drop. It wasn't like a live episode or anything. We were just last Friday night recorded hey, let's do a all 32 team first round mock because we're nerds. Well, not really Derek, but me and Santori especially.
I try my best. At this point I'm ready for it to be over. I'm ready to see the guys that we got and go from there.
But we were kind of talking about what we got coming up, next week. And yeah, he said you hugged him, Joe, and Glenn didn't. He remembered.
You remember all the hugs you don't get.
It was weird to me, man. Yeah, I know exactly. The whole
you owe him a hug, Glenn.
I do owe him a hug. I'll see him when the Bills come to town. The plan is to head down to Cincinnati for that. I've got a couple weekends that I can't make. So when the schedule drops, I'm hoping it's a good weekend and I can come down with Joe. We'll bring our wives again, make a little weekend of it. Should be a good time, and I'll hug anybody that wants hugs.
Which, speaking of the schedule drop, what are you guys going to do anything big for the schedule release and have a party and all that for all that?
Who the fuck does something big for a schedule release?
Man, Bale.
Hey,
Drag him.
I will say this. Jamar has me thinking, and as much as I hate to say it, I think he dropped a little hint about the sounds like the New Orleans game is going to be in London. I don't know if he heard something or he was just speaking about it, but it sounds like that game very very well might be at the what's the Coliseum there? I can't think of the name of it now.
Wembley?
Where's Jamar from? Is he from
The
New
Or
York?
the other?
I think
Nottingham?
is it
Where's
what?
Chase from?
Yeah, that one.
But,
The Pottingham or whatever.
Originally?
yeah. 'Cause I
Chase
saw-
Chase is
about
Louisiana
playing-
guy, and then went to LSU.
'Cause
I
did
hope
see
they
Yeah.
don't move that one to
I saw
London
something
because
he
that'll be
posted
so much fun.
He put
Well,
up a tweet or something about
Yeah, I was going to
playing at
yeah.
home, or I don't remember.
Yeah, he
Oh, Jesus.
tweeted he tweeted
Yeah.
man, I can't wait to play in front of all my friends or something like that. And then it was like an hour later he tweeted, well, sounds like it might be in London or something. I can't remember the exact tweets, but
The feeling I
And
get
then
is
he
that it
said-
won't be in London, so let's hope not, right? I mean,
yeah,
I mean, we
that's
got
true.
friends over there, so hopefully for them, but for everyone else.
I've been hearing rumblings that the Bills could, or the Rams could open against the Bills in LA on that Thursday night game. You got the Von Miller coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Buffalo's kind of high right now, and then the champs usually open it.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm hearing as far as any releases at this point.
That'd be fun.
No offense, sorry. The champs.
I feel like we won.
No.
All right, I've got a couple questions that I had written down, which I sent this stuff to Glenn earlier. Sorry, Cap, I didn't send you anything.
Not even a link.
Not even a link. So for the Goodberries first,
What's up?
if you guys ever got in a fight, who did win, or if you would get in a fight now, who would win?
This is such a common.
Have we ever been into a fight?
Oh, we'll forget it then.
What do you mean?
Like doing
As kids,
Yeah, but not like a serious fight.
we haven't been in anything. No, we don't fight.
We have fought side by side more than we've ever fought each other. That's for sure.
That's good brothers right there. All right. Well, so Cap, I was going to ask you, the Twitter hiatus, is it almost over? Why did you just wanted to take a break? Is that something you normally do?
And before you speak on that, I want to know how somebody does something like that, because I've tried, and every now and then I'll check in and out, but that takes some real perseverance in my opinion.
So I don't like social media. I don't.
Mhm.
I hated it, and I'm there because you see the power. You get with good fans, you meet good people, and we honestly have built a machine on Twitter. Bengals fans are monsters now. We still got some growing. We're not Bills fans yet, but we can get there. Where before it's like, people just rolled all over us and everybody took it. And I'm like, okay, I'm tired of that. Especially now that, hey, we should have won the Super Bowl. So we deserve the respect. People are still going to talk shit, but whatever. But other than that, man, it's work. Now, talking with friends and everybody here, and there's so many people that I could literally name 50, 60 people that I've missed. And, whoa, what's that?
It sounded like old school Pac-Man or something. In my headphones, I don't know.
Is that a breeze? The wind?
I don't know. It's been blowing the whole time here. So if this is the first thing we heard, then I don't think it's me. But
You're good now.
yeah, I have anxiety because I looked at my DMs and there's got to be at least 400 or 500. It's going to take it.
So I did send the link. You just didn't look hard enough.
I checked.
I think I sent it from the Bengals and Brews account.
Yeah, go look. You didn't. You said, here's the link and no link.
Oh, yeah. I definitely could see myself doing that. So I ain't even going to look because I guarantee you're right.
He's been drinking.
Yeah, if I responded, I said, no, there's no link. But no, mental break. Sometimes the trolls, having the ability to pretty much track down anybody and do horrible things digitally, it's a gift and a curse.
scary.
and it plays in my head. So it's like some of the people that have been in my, I'm like, you know what, I need to take a break. I need to, step away a little bit. And it's nice. It really is. Plus, I cried so much in the month of January. Oh, and February. I did a lot of crying. It was good to kind of like step away. Two things. I've some crazy cybersecurity stuff at work that's been awesome, and I got sucked into Elden Ring. And I'll tell you what, man, I should have never picked that game up. It was, it got me. It got me bad.
I'm not playing like musical chairs with the pictures, but I was going to remove Derek because he got up, and then like Joe's face was literally behind the logo, so I had to do something there.
Yeah, I had to open a window and turn the fan on. It's like a damn hot box back here.
Yeah, are you saying you shit yourself?
Yeah, that's what. I had to waft everything, get everything. All that smoked meat that I had earlier today.
Fair.
I asked Sarah if she wanted some of my smoked meat, and she said no. So.
Hey, little doggy.
This is BB.
Oh, there's BB. She's looking like she's enjoying the beautiful weather too.
Oh yeah, she'll be celebrating her first birthday coming up.
Oh,
awesome!
All right, should we get into some draft talk? We have spent a half an hour. I couldn't recap the past half an hour.
Yeah, I was going to say half an hour just bullshitting.
Good.
Yeah, let's talk a little draft if you guys want to.
Well, yeah, we got to get what Cap's eating.
Cap's eating something. What's he eating?
He's got a hot dog. He's got a glizzy there.
No, that looks like a burrito. We should guess first. It's a Philly cheesesteak. I'm going with.
I'm going with a glizzy. Is that a Five Guys burger?
That's Wendy's.
Sonic.
I'm going with Sonic. Oh, I didn't get it in before you said anything.
We don't have that.
Hey, we got a couple.
Well, I mean, I've been flashing this, so.
Yeah.
Oh, is the drink a regular pop, or is that like one of their slushies or
milkshake?
Cheesecake Oreo.
Oh, that sounds pretty good. Yeah.
I could never wash a burger down with a milkshake. I think that's some upper level shit, to be honest.
I'm just triple fist, whatever. Wife just keeps putting stuff down in front of me.
I'm so fucking thirsty from this burger. I'm gonna suck down this fucking chocolate milkshake.
Triple fist.
You can't even get anything out of this bitch.
I feel like this is the first time we've talked about triple fisting since last weekend on the show.
Well, considering this is a weekly podcast, it's kind of an everyday occurrence for us,
No, I do believe that's the first reference to triple fisting. Okay, good job, Cap. First one.
Leave it to me.
All right, so I feel like because this can go both ways with shit. God.
There we go, triple fisting going both ways. This is getting way out of hand.
Anyways, Bengals and the Bills, I feel like both have a need at cornerback.
Yeah.
So let's get into talking about some of the top cornerback prospects and maybe who we think's the best fit for each of those teams.
Before we start, let's just start off with something that I was kind of wondering. Do you see the Bills drafting a first-round running back right off the rip?
In my opinion, I would say no. I don't see it. They could. It depends on how they value it, right? I don't. Mm-hmm. I think they do need to lean towards a situation where they can allow Josh to carry the ball less, but also Devin Singletary really was able to step up a little towards the end of last year. How confident are they in Devin Singletary? They're not confident in Zach Moss, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth a first-round pick to them. I think they're looking corner, and because we still don't know what Trey White, how quickly he's going to come back, how well he's going to come back, and how strong. Losing Wallace to the Steelers, it's a situation where I think they need a cornerback right now, and I think if the cards fall right and the player they like up there at 25 is there, I think it's going to be corner. And if it's not corner, it's not going to be running back. It's probably going to be wide receiver. But I still think it's going to be corner.
So, in other words, Derek, what he wants to say is like, I ask a question about cornerback, and then you come in and jump in. And just fucking
Well,
no, that's not the answer. So you could have just fucking let him answer the fucking question about fucking cornerback, and we could have started talking about cornerback.
Listen, I know everybody's
God
hostile right
damn.
now because the Reds can't win a freaking game.
Oh, I don't give a shit about that.
But we need to tone it down a little bit, you know.
Well, stop interrupting my questions with other questions.
All right, now back to cornerback. Back to cornerback.
Yes,
You're not open it.
I do know how to open it. I want to flex these guys a little something if I can
You
open
don't
it.
even open it. You guys are-
There it is. I picked this up. I'm an Atlanta Braves fan, and they did a giveaway. I went right to eBay when they did their
you got too
World
much shine on there.
Championship
Too much
ring.
shine.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
That's it. Bring it closer.
Yeah. You know what? I'm open
quality.
to a new team when it comes to baseball. But
Yeah, I was going to
here's
say,
the thing.
accepting application.
the most enjoyable thing for baseball to me is like taking my kids to a game or stuff like that. Like honestly, it always has been. Or before my dad passed away, like going to a game with him, just stuff like that. And it's like, so if you don't have that and they're not putting a product on the field and trying to win, I'm just like, man, I don't want to give you any of my money. Like that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah,
Just blows my mind. All the Reds fans that would bash the Bengals, and then here we are.
Yeah,
it's not a lot of them. I'm not saying that it was white, but I definitely felt like people were pushing that since he was a baseball town and would trash the Bengals at any chance, and here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and right before we get into draft talk, I did want to say with the Reds, we're gonna have it for everybody watching. We'll have Mo Egger on tomorrow at 3:00. Is that right, Dale? 3.
Yeah, but honestly, I don't even really want to talk about the Reds with them.
Well, all I was
don't.
going to say was at the beginning. What was it? Monday. I tweeted out. I said, "Man, could you imagine if the Reds didn't win a game by the time we talked to Mo Egger on Saturday, and look where we're at." I mean, it's rough. It really is. And you got guys wearing brown paper bags and Phil Castellini getting all pissed off and telling them to take them off and everything else. It's like, come on.
Yeah. But anyways, back to the cornerbacks.
Back to, before we were rudely interrupted, but,
So Joe's kind of our expert on quarterback rankings. And, well, just everything. I don't know. The draft, everything. So rank these players for me, Joe, if you don't mind. Booth, Elam, Gordon, McCreary.
Booth, Elam, Gordon, and McCreary. I have tape grades for each one of those, but then I have grades factoring in their age, their athleticism, their production on the field.
Maybe fit for teams too, if you want to,
of course,
there's a difference between the Bills and the Bengals. If you wouldn't mind mentioning that.
Yeah, based on tape, I have it as Elam number 1, and then I would have Booth number 2. I would have Gordon number 3 and McCreary number 4. Based on bringing in size, athleticism, their age, their production. Factors like PFF's grading, the consensus board. I've got a formula that brings it all together and gives me one number at the end. It goes Gordon, Elam, McCreary, and then Booth. Booth is last out of that.
Out of those 4 guys for Bills and Bengals, really, could you see where any of those 4 would make sense for him and be a good pick at 31 and at
25.
where you got? Are you guys 24?
25.
Yeah.
He asked me the other day on Twitter. He misconstrued what the Bills were asking. They were holding a contest of who do you think the Bills are going to take, and he goes, "Hey, who do you think?" And I said, "Kyler Gordon, corner of Washington." And I think for the way they're a cover 4 team. They really don't care about speed too much. They're not going to get beat over the top either way. The way they play. Gordon's the slowest of those guys at a 4.52, but tremendous in zone, best feet, best quickness. Tremendous tackler, super smart dude, well coached at Washington. I think that's everything they would like. So I think Gordon goes. I think Gordon. When you look at the list of the 25 or whatever it was guys that got invited to the combine, I think was the surprise. But I think that's because he's going top, 30 at least. I'd be surprised if he was still there for the Bengals at 31. On the other hand, the Bills probably need speed really bad, and the fastest guy of that group is Kyler Elam. So I don't think that'd be a bad thing if they added the faster guy and said, let's go with that. Because, you think of that Chiefs game.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill catches that 15-yard slant, goes 64 yards, and he's waving at guys as he's running past them. He's not even that.
Like you said, it's tough for Buffalo to get beat deep. So
right. So that's why they're not worried about speed.
Right.
So I think for the Bengals, though, I think all those guys, you look at their history and the way that they draft that corner, they're kind of been all over the map. I mean, Duke Tobin's been there 20-something years now. We can kind of get a good idea. He's been in the room when they drafted 17 corners at this point now. And so you can get a good idea of what they like and what they look for. They typically prefer speed. They don't care about the length. So a guy like Trent McDuffie and Roger McCreary, who have T-Rex arms, they don't care. It probably wouldn't bother them at all. They like guys that'll tackle. They like ball production. And they would like fast guys. So I don't know if that takes Gordon out of the running because he's so athletic and so agile. I think he reminds me of Leon Hall without that 4.4 speed that Hall had. At the same time, I think if you ask me right now who I think they're going to pick at 31, I don't know if we're at that point in the show, but I think it's Kyler Elam will still be there. And I think he makes a lot of sense for what they do.
Now, how high do you see him on? Like, if you were in the draft room for the Bengals, how high do you think Elam would be on their board? Because I know when they've talked about whenever they pick a player, like they're not going to have a guy at 35 or 40.
Right.
They're picking at 31. Chances are on their board, they're going to be picking a guy that's 14, 15, 16,
Yeah. And it's hard to say. I think, everything you look at when you see what they typically like, I don't think there's a perfect corner this year. I think it'd probably be Andrew Booth if he had tested, but they've never drafted a corner that hasn't tested since Tobin's been in there. I think they value the athleticism, or at least knowing. So, on tape, I think Booth is probably the best fit, and I think that's probably why he got mocked so many times, and a lot of fans got into Andrew Booth. But when he doesn't test at all, the last guy they tested was that they drafted at corner was in 1994. So I just don't think it's going to happen with him. I think he's going to get valued later. So I don't think there's a perfect scheme fit or perfect fit within what they normally draft. Other than speed, Kyler Gordon is like the exact average of everything they do in terms of size. In terms of athleticism, the average guy they draft is exactly Kyler Elam.
Okay. Great answer. All right. So I'm thinking Bills, and they could go with any of those guys that you said, and great rundown. But I think their second biggest need is probably wide receiver. So who do you like? Because I don't think we're going to go receiver near as early. So we're really talking a lot of different prospects if we're talking Bills wide receivers options and Bengals wide receiver options. But I want to start off and do Bills wide receiver options because that's probably – I think it's almost the first round need. If they don't go corner, I think it's going to be wide receiver.
Or second round, right? I think they're going to draft wide receiver first, second round.
I think they're 1-2 is corner and wide receiver.
Right, where I think the Bengals is corner and then defensive line, defensive tackle probably. And for the Bills, it's corner and wide receiver, so it can come off the board either way that way.
Yeah, this guy just made the comment, I guess, where I was almost headed toward what I think would be fun for Buffalo.
Oh, yeah.
That would
Williams, he's the fastest, most electric. I mean, he's Tyreek Hill for, everyone's looking for the Tyreek Hill. Who's the guy this year? That's how the Bengals end up taking John Ross, number 9, right? That's how it happens. Every team's looking for that guy. But he tore his ACL in the final game, so that's why he'd be there at 25.
Sure.
But he should be back in time, halfway through the year, at least be back up to full speed. Freak. I remember watching Martin Emerson, who's a corner,
Mississippi State.
Yeah. And he's not the fastest dude anyway, so he's trying to play off coverage on Jamison Williams, and it's a little hook route, 12 yards. Williams catches it, turns, and they're face to face with a 3-yard cushion, and he doesn't touch him. He goes 70 yards for a touchdown. Yeah. And it's just getting a guy like that. And the Bills probably have a luxury, or maybe every team doesn't. They wouldn't have to throw him in and make sure he starts right away, because they've got 3-4 deep at receiver right now at signing Jamison Crowder. They could probably slowly bring him into that spot.
And the only reason he might fall to 25 is because of his injury. And I just feel like that could be best player available for the Bills. They could be staring him down. What's your thoughts, Glenn? Do you know anything about Jamison Williams at all? Would that excite you, or would you rather have a corner?
Yeah, as far as wide receiver goes, obviously the Bills need, I think, somebody we just said like the Tyreek Hill type. You're trying to
Yak type. I think they're so
yards
bad at
after catch.
that was the biggest weakness on offense.
Yeah, and they do have Isaiah McKenzie, who's pretty quick, who's fast, but they don't have like a blazing fast wide receiver. So having somebody with that sort of speed and extra gear and can create and make those yards after the catch. So if this Williams is that guy,
he can do that.
Then I'd be excited to see something. So
Yeah.
we'll see next Thursday night, next Friday. See how it goes.
Yep.
Yeah, we're getting down to it. Cap, I want to ask you, do you have any thoughts on cornerback for the Bengals? Any guys that you've studied or you?
You know what I've studied? My OnlyFans.
Elden Ring.
Is it still going?
Elden Ring, yeah.
Oh,
I thought they would have shut down your OnlyFans by now. Like,
no, they can't shut me down if I don't post anything. I need to start posting stuff.
I went on there the other day expecting maybe see some feet pics or something, but
Dude, you don't want that.
well, there you go. You just got it for free. You got it for free.
He's the next Aaron Rodgers over here.
The wife said neighbors are walking by right when I did that. It's fantastic.
Yeah, just hanging out with some dudes, showing them my feet. It's cool. No big deal.
Saturday night.
No, I have heard the team really likes corner, but as far as who being 30 picks ahead of us, it's tough. I got to lean on Joe to break down top 4, top 5, and hope that there's not some kind of weird run, irrational run on corners, and we get somebody that's going to make a good fit. So.
Yeah.
Well, I still hold out the little hope that like Trent McDuffie falls, but I think if Trent McDuffie fell, I think the Bills would snag him up at 25, and that would really be a dream pick for the Bills, in my opinion. So it's hard for me.
Weird stuff happens, man, all the time.
Does.
Head scratchers every draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. What was it last year? We had what was that? Damon Arnett. Was Damon Arnett last year?
2 years ago.
Or 2 years ago. 2 years ago. And he just came out of nowhere. And everybody was thinking he was going to be a second, third round pick. And then all of a sudden they take him at it was their second first round pick, wasn't it?
They took Henry Ruggs also.
Yeah. That was a phenomenal draft that everyone will look back on.
Yeah. But as far as talent goes, the Damon Arnett pick, second, third round, but he goes in the first. You see that kind of stuff happen all the time. And Henry Ruggs, talent-wise, was I think he was a decent pick for where they got him at, but obviously didn't work out very well.
Crazy stuff happening with the draft. Could you imagine the Bengals picking 31? The draft starts, at 8 o'clock at night? You guys are up. Bengals trade out of that 31 spot.
After everyone stays up till midnight? Yeah.
Dude,
it's going to be midnight.
Whoa,
OnlyFans. My God.
That was me closing the laptop.
Stop giving away the free content, Cap.
See, that's how you entice them. You go on Reddit and tease the free stuff, and then I've been told.
I was going to say you're like the girls on TikTok, or so I've been told, that says.
So he's been told.
Go to my Instagram for the spicy link. Yeah.
I'm writing this down. What else?
We'll talk. I'll be your manager.
Hey, one thing I wanted to say at the beginning of the show, and I completely forgot about it until now, which I don't know how I forgot about it, but the Willie Anderson Foundation shirt that you got on right there. I love that thing. Let's talk about the
Lineman Academy.
I was gonna say it's not
Academy.
That's like what he does for a job daily. Yeah.
Let's talk about the expansion of the Hall of Fame inductees for
guys like Ken Anderson and Ken Riley and Lamar Parrish.
Not Willie necessarily, but for all the other guys. What's your guys' thoughts on all that?
Great.
Wow, you really nailed that one, Joe.
Listen,
Cap, what's your thoughts? If you say great as well, we'll have
Fantastic.
The other day,
hey, there we go.
No, seriously, there is such a backlog of the older guys, and we have our guys that we feel like absolute shoe-in. It's a disgrace that they're not in the Hall, but every team, almost every team, has maybe at least one, maybe two. Now we only have one guy completely. That's it. That's absolutely a joke. Even the other teams that have, multiple, they've got that one guy that needs. So
the other day, Glenn, I wake up to text messages from Glenn, and he goes like, "I really want to make a trip to Canton and see the Hall of Fame." I'm like, "Yeah, me too. I do want to. I've never been." And then he starts going, "Well, how about this? How about in the summer? Or how about And I'm like, I kind of don't want to go until there's more Bengals in there.
I sent him ticket prices.
Yeah, he did. That's what it was. And I'm like, I just kind of have I love football. I love football history. I've got a bad taste in my mouth with the Hall of Fame when the guys that I feel like shouldn't be in there. And who am I? Who the fuck am I? Who are we to think our guys should go on before some random receiver from the Raiders that I can't remember one play he made. Point being is that you do feel like there's a backlog, like Cap said, and if that helps get to it, because obviously they agree, they wouldn't do this if they didn't agree that there's a lot of guys they feel are deserving that need to get in there.
Not Bengals players, but there are other, like Cowboys and Steelers, and,
every team,
all those guys. They got to get all them in there.
If you ask the Bills got how many? But right now they'd be saying Steve Tasker, Darryl Taylor, right?
Yeah, Taylor, Tasker,
right. They've got guys that they want in there, and they've got enough as it is.
Yeah, and I was honestly, when I first seen that they were making new, I guess rules or whatever you want to call it for the Hall of Fame. When I first seen the little headline about it, I'm like, oh great, maybe they've got new blood coming in to vote on it. And then I clicked and they're like, yeah, we're just extending. I'm like, well, does that, in your opinion, does that really help the Bengals players and players? Because I feel like there's this nasty stigma on Bengals, and we've heard it firsthand that some of these guys that are voting for it are like, yeah, fuck the Bengals.
I don't know it's that, to be honest with you. There is younger voters in there now that shouldn't have a stigma towards the Bengals at all. And talking to one of them, one voter, and talking about Willie Anderson, he goes, "Man, these young guys never even seen Willie play." And I'm like, "Well, really? This is only 10 years, 15 years? How many years ago was this? Am I losing my mind already that these guys haven't seen Willie play?" And I'm like, all right, well, we got to do our job to show them. We got to do our job to convince them, and it's tough. But, I don't know that the stigma is – see, I'm kind of I've got two brains about this because I didn't believe there was a stigma about it. But then when you saw how people talked about the Bengals leading up to the Super Bowl run, and I was like, damn, they really don't believe this team's ever been good in the last 30 years. Like, they don't even believe this team's ever had a footprint at all or done anything. And that shocked me. So, I guess, there probably is some deep-rooted stuff, but when you talk to them face-to-face, you don't get that feeling. But it's probably when they go and have to make that decision between three different players that they say, he's a Bengals player. No one's really going to care if he doesn't get in. We got to get this Raiders guy in because that's where we'll get the backlash.
Yeah, and even like last year when Willie was up against the other lineman,
Tony Bassell.
Tony. I was sitting here thinking, like, if you compare the two careers, in my opinion, maybe there's a little bias. I will be willing to admit that, but I just feel like Willie had a much better career than Tony. But once again, like you said, maybe it's them saying, well, the fans aren't going to give a shit. Well, evidently we do, but we just don't have a big a crowd as the other teams have. What's your thoughts on that?
For that one, I thought Willie was more deserving. I think longevity should have held more weight. I think, what he did, from what I'm understanding, he got really close. So that kind of sucks because, then you look the next few years of linemen that are coming up, and like Joe Thomas is going to get in before Willie Anderson. There's a couple other guys that are going to get in before Willie, and it's just like I get it because those guys were better. I mean, to be honest with you. But
Mhm.
Willie is definitely deserving. And the next time we get to a class where there's not a great offensive lineman, that's a slam dunk to get in there, Willie's got to get in there. And I think now that Baselli's out of there, you look at the guys that have made the All-Pro at tackle in the 90s multiple times. Every single one is now in the Hall of Fame. It's from the 95 to 05. They're all in the Hall of Fame except for Willie Anderson. He's the only one left now that is not. And when you see it, you go, whoa, it's going to happen. I believe it's going to happen. It's just going to be the next class where there's not a slam dunk lineman.
Now, how long before he falls into the senior group? How many years do we have before that happens?
I don't know. Is it 30 years? Does anyone know? I think it's a long time.
Okay.
I think it's real long.
I think it's 25 or 30.
25. Okay. I was wondering because I'm thinking like, okay, but what about these guys like Whitworth and like all these guys that are starting to, you know, what happens if Willie just kind of falls by the wayside as they're putting all these other ones in, and it's like, you know, the same thing happened with in my opinion, Ken Riley.
25. He looked it up for us so we can have at least 25. Some factual information on the show. 25 years.
You know, Ken Riley is the only. Isn't he the only interception guy in the top like 10 or top 8 or something like that that's not in the Hall of Fame right now?
Yeah.
And he's like top 5 in interceptions. How does something like that happen?
Well, and what's crazy is a lot of the times the argument you hear is, oh, well, he played for so-and-so. Well, Riley played for some damn good teams. That was before the Bengals went through their 90s laps. Mm-hmm. So you can't even use that argument. And at the time he retired, I think he was like number 2 all-time in interceptions. And that was in an era that wasn't this, you know, air attack era that we have now.
But to before you go too far, interception rate has declined through the years. So, like, no one will ever pass that again, even though they pass it more. That if you look at it, it's, you know, interception rate at that time was much higher than it was. Getting 35
it was.
Now is like getting 70 back then. So there is some of that. Like, no one will ever catch him again. The Ed Reeds and Charles Woodson, that is crazy that they even got close.
Well, I think teams value the PBUs more than they do the interceptions and stuff like that. So,
but point being, he was at the top of his field on a really good team in a really fun era of football that everybody knew.
You know what the weird part is Lamar Parrish was getting like the accolades while Ken Riley is getting all the stats and interceptions. Mm-hmm. It's like they were almost didn't watch the Bengals, so they were confused about who one of those corners. Vote for that one on the Bengals.
Right.
Lamar Parrish.
Yeah, it's funny because some of the supposed experts, you know, the guys that study the process and everything, may or may not be connected. They'll say, well, the only reason Riley had the crazy amount of interceptions is because teams didn't want to throw the ball at Parrish. Okay, then where's Parrish?
Right.
Like literally, you're helping my case. Like, I don't care who we're talking about. You're telling me there's a bias. I'm thinking it's Riley. You're saying it's Parrish, even though you didn't mean to say it's Parrish. Okay, fine, whatever. Yeah, I've heard rumors about conversations, and you know, like Joe alluded to, you know, publicly they might say one thing, but then closed door. You know, there have been maybe one candidate who basically knew that as long as this person is in the room, he won't get in, and until that person's gone, he doesn't have a chance.
Yeah,
so,
I know. I think I know the person you're talking about too.
Glenn's walking out of the camera, but he's still right here. And for the people that don't know, like, so we're talking about Ken Riley is top 5 in interceptions career, right, Glenn?
Right.
Lamar Parrish is the other corner on the other side. He's an 8-time Pro Bowler, a 3-time first-team All-Pro, a 2-time second-team All-Pro, and also Football Digest NFL Defensive Back of the Year for 1979. That was the other side. So that's why he's saying, like, they didn't want to throw against this guy.
Both of those guys with those resumes should be in the Hall of Fame.
Great corners, and like neither of them, it's crazy.
Yeah, and I don't have anything up right now, so I can pull the chat. But Dale's in the chat right now. I don't know where Dale went, but
he said he'd be back. He said he'd be back. He texted me.
He said one person will win a jackpot, Joey. With all that stuff that we was showing for the giveaway, the jackpot Joey stuff by Matty Meyer. We really appreciate him doing all this. But one lucky winner in the chat will win that stuff. All you have to do is give us your pick for the 31st overall pick? Who do you think the Bengals will draft? And whoever ends up getting it right, or I guess if nobody gets it right, then we'll go on and do something else. But yeah, go ahead in the chat right now. Take your chance on who you think the Bengals will pick at 31 overall.
Quick side comment. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention it while I had Glenn here, because he's the sneakerhead of the group.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to show you my shoes.Ey're precious to me.
I want to see them. All right, Nike Air Force.
Oh yeah,
Tigers. I remember when those came out last summer.
Yeah, that's all I got.
I
know nothing about
them. How's the orange match up? It looks like it's on the neon side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the swoosh is a little neon.
Sim was wearing them at the Thursday night
That's
game.
right. You're right. I'd see.
Yeah.
Cap's also got some colorful orange kicks too. Cap's the sneaker guy for the.
I was going to say, I think Cap, you're pretty much a sneakerhead too, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to fight it, but it finally got me sucked in, and I keep playing the game on StockX with the jerk lowering the highest ask by $1, every 3 days, like the slow burn to hopefully maybe the year of the Tiger for under 400. But they've sold for 1,000. They've sold for I feel like the most I don't want to say reasonable, but I think it was $470 was the best price I've seen them sell. But I'm like, at $470, I don't want to wear them to the stadium. I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah,
I get stepped on too much.
Yeah.
I got shoes I won't wear to the stadium either. I've got I'll actually go on eBay and I'll buy used shoes that I like in Bills colors that I don't care if I beat to hell in the stadium parking lots, and wear those, like some pretty cool retro 90s sneakers and stuff
expensive.
like that. What's that?
That's a little much. You're gonna go buy sneakers you like, but they're already used, so that you can wear them.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, I do have one question for the sneakerheads. What about the crease? Like, do you guys walk differently to try to avoid that, or how?
It depends on the shoe.
Okay.
So, like a Air Force One, you're not supposed to crease your Air Force Ones. Those are supposed to be crispy. Those are supposed to keep their shape. A Jordan 1,
because they look terrible once they get worn in.
A Jordan 1, on the other hand, you'll get both opinions on that. My opinion on them are crease them up, wear them up. I think they look really good beat up, especially like the OG 80s Bulls colors. But some of the newer ones that are really flashy, you don't want to crease them.
I wear Toms in the morning when we set up the tailgate, and then switch out to my shoes just because of all the bending and the crease at the toe. So I don't crease. Yeah.
I keep a pair of emergency sneakers in my truck. So if I'm out with something, shit hits the fan.
Starts raining.
Yeah, I gotta help somebody. I switch shoes.
Smart.
As crazy as it sounds, but yeah, I keep a pair of beaters in the truck.
I think this is how I know I'm getting old, because I get really excited for wearing Air Monarchs to games.
Yeah, well, people talk about how comfy Monarchs are, but I find them not comfy. I don't know. It's just, but that's what it is. Dad's shoes now are the 90s basketball sneakers that were all gaudy and eccentric, and I love them. And that was my era for the sneakers. And this is my favorite shoe of all time. I got sitting up over here. I actually keep it on display here in my nerd room. The 1996.
Classic.
Oh, I remember those.
Nike Air More Up Tempos.
Yeah. They had those. Those were those in the what was that magazine? I can't even think of the name of it anymore. East Bay.
Everything was in East Bay, dude.
Yeah.
They were also in George. Who was Brendan Fraser? Was it George of the Jungle? What movie was that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about now.
Brendan
Fraser. He's raised in the jungle in this movie.
Yeah,
it's George. It's George of the Jungle.
Yeah. George of the Jungle.
George of the Jungle.
He opens the box aggressively. He grabs him out, all aggressive. There's there's a tongue tab on it and a heel tab, and he pulls it open aggressively, throws them on, ties them up aggressively, and runs into the jungle. And that was it.
We need that for game day.
Yeah.
He just said it all right there.
Right.
Yes, I could see. I'm seeing it right now. Hey, Bengals media, anybody that's watching right now, because I know someone is watching, because we're the most watched podcast for drunk Bengals fans, probably.
Well,
I can see right now.
I tweeted earlier. I said I think it's safe to say that we can call ourselves being a podcast that's in the top 10 with 2 hosts.
Thank you.
That also is alcohol related.
My son's over here showing his forehead, trying to pop in the. You want to say hi to everybody here?
Hey, Declan.
Look right there. You say hi to all of them. All right, and he's out of here.
Every time I talk to him on the phone, he'll just start shouting in like Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. Like they're praising him right.
He loves him some Joe Burrow and loves Jamar Chase and the whole crew. But yeah, I was just going to say, I could see them guys doing it. Like you got a kid just tying his shoes and walking into a jungle, and all of a sudden you look in Paul Brown Stadium, and I'm a visionary. That's what it is.
Well, you're the orange arrow, so technically you could like put them on and then shoot an arrow up toward the top and then like fly through or fly down from the top to the bottom and then run across the field.
Oh, yeah. So I'm ready for it.
This is your commercial. This is your
I'll tell a secret. Wow, I got real quiet.
You heard
secret, and we were like, all right, we're ready.
So Will works for the Bengals. He was Emmy Award winning with the Chiefs. How on earth we got him from the Chiefs? And he is one of the big reasons for all the fun videos last year. When we went to film, of course, my corny video made it because it was easy. But one of the things that didn't make it, and it's funny because I have tried this. Now I'm not saying that, oh, yeah, I do that too. I'm not trying to put myself in the same sphere as him, but I have tried like you've seen some of the GIF stuff. He was trying to insert Bengalorean into some Mandalorian scenes to show up there. And he's like, screw it. I don't care if we get sued. Like that, dude, I was
like
so,
the attitude.
Exactly. I was so hyped because I understand how hard it is because he's got to get Bengalorean to do everything perfectly, got to get the timing right, blah, 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 so that he can, rather than spend, hours deleting, frame by frame, if we can get everything close, he can just impose him, it didn't work out. I could see him doing that this year. I could see like lessons learned. Yeah. So the videos I'm predicting will be even better this year. They were amazing last year. They're going to be better.
There is a green arrow part where he does that. He draws the bow back. He lets it rip and it shoots the zip line thing. And he zip lines, and as he's zip lining down, he drop kicks a guy. Well, I'm saying we drop kick a Bills fan into a table. I mean, we can use Glenn for this. What's your thought, Glenn?
Have you guys seen table prices these days?
Are they higher?
I walked by one in Walmart, an 8-foot folding table, $90. I'm like, you guys, this
because
is
they
insane.
know.
Well, there's a supply issue in Buffalo.
Yeah, there is, and they're all chained up in Buffalo. They got like these cables.
Wow, that's hilarious.
People are jumping into them in the store.
Yeah.
I go to Walmart and I shoot a couple of hoops because the hoop's up. Bills fans end up jumping at tables. That's fantastic.
The table jumping's for the kids, man. Anybody over 30 doing it, it's just gonna fuck your life up.
You have a job.
Yeah.
Oh, I did I was trying to show my son how to do a front flip today, and let me just tell you, 32 years old, I did a front flip. Everything from here to like here instantly hurt. And
front flip on your feet and land on your feet.
Yeah.
And you do that.
Have you completed one before?
Yeah.
Or did you just decide you were going to try and show your son today?
No, I used to be able to do it all the time, but
I didn't know that.
I used to
Nimble
be very. very nimble, but not anymore. Not anymore. That's for damn sure.
My
It
7-year-old
hurts.
my 7-year-old daughter's been doing cartwheels, and then I go to do one with her. I saw stars, man. Like I hit my hands. I do a terrible ass cartwheel. I'm seeing stars.
I still do a good cartwheel.
Like
Really good.
I was like, my ears are ringing. I'm like, this is fucking fucked up, man.
Yeah, I thought my arms used to be longer or something. The cartwheel worked better. I like.
Why is my face so close to the ground?
Right.
Well, I don't know. Since we're not technically giving something away tonight, I did want to show we have these awesome Bengals. I don't know if you can see that Bengals and Brews T-shirts, size large. That we are going to do a giveaway tonight at some point. How you guys want to do that? You guys want to do a pick a number 1 through 50 or something like that, or how you guys want to do that?
I don't know. I thought you were gonna send some to like our friends first.
Well, I mean, yes, these 4 guys right here are definitely getting a Bengals and Brews T-shirt before anyone else. But yeah,
all my
we're
shirts
definitely
are shirts that have been given to me now.
Joe, dude, like I got rid of so many clothes. I tried to Marie Kondo the closet, and I am left with, honestly, it's like 10 Bengals shirts and 25, local small time, Bengal fans created. Like, holy cow, it's stuff people won't know unless you're a Bengals fan and you're in this community.
I want to give all of them to like the Salvation Army and see someone going by with like a whole lot of orange shirt go by. Look,
Yeah. Hey.
No, he was about to say a Bengals and Brews shirt. He was like, send it to me and I'm immediately taking it to Goodwill.
No,
fucking asshole.
He's setting up the excuse to get rid of it.
You can't wear them forever, right?
Yeah,
he start to get a little weird. Then they gotta
go. I was going to say, Joe said, send that to One Salvation Army.
Right there.
Hey, Cap, real quick. Speaking of the local shirts, did you go to the Cincy shirt like massive sale they had down near Taft in Avondale?
No, I wanted to. Good stuff.
I went. It was decent stuff. We waited in line for 3 hours. That thing wrapped around the building.
Wow.
And we went on that last day where everything was like $5. And we spent about $75 on a bunch of shirts. And if you ever do this, make sure you and your significant other are on the same page, because now I have 2 of every single shirt because my wife grabbed the same 8 and then I grabbed the same 8. So if y'all want some of these.
So you basically didn't get a deal at all.
I mean, kind of did. I got a bunch of $5 shirts that don't.
Double.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, if they're $5, shoot, man, those are usually like $40 from Cincy shirts, I think.
20, 25.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's still not a bad deal. But
yeah.
I got a t-shirt press here at the house. I make my own shirts. If I need something for a night out, I press the shirt and I'm out.
Yeah.
That's what
I want to say real quick. I was just I flipped over to Twitter real quick to check on a couple of things that I saw. Jess had, aka the Hubei, had a picture of the Birmingham Orange Blossom mead that you guys have right there. That is a beautiful, beautiful bottle right there.
Oh yeah.
And I think are they still doing code Tigress for Tigress Talk? Is that right, Cap?
Yep.
15% off.
I just realized,
15% off. That is a beautiful bottle right there.
Far away, it almost, I don't know, there's some phallic stuff going on.
Yeah, I see penises everywhere, but that could just be, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, what do you see, when you're at this like,
I see penises.
I'm looking around, neighbors walking by, like, what?
Well, the ink blot test, the Rorschach.
Yeah.
I thought you meant just Friday night.
What do you see? Penises. I see penises. Penises everywhere.
I was at a wedding last night, and they played the Bills shout song like they do typically here in Buffalo. Somebody threw a dildo on the floor.
Oh
came skipping right into my feet at a wedding.
No, are you serious?
Someone brought one to a wedding.
Thing off the floor, man.
What? Is this real life?
This is real.
But maybe they opened up the presents early or something.
We usually.
I mean, I don't want to get rid of mine. Like, why would you just throw it away?
That's a perfectly good dildo.
Well, you
Right?
can't
Yeah,
send it to
yeah.
the Salvation
Somebody
Army,
was
so
using that.
once
Glenn
it's,
scooped it up. Don't
I was
worry.
going to say, hopefully it wasn't a
That's
used
your
one.
rescue
But
dildo.
hey.
I hope. Hopefully, they at least put it in the
Who
dishwasher
rescued you?
before they brought it. You know what I mean?
That's how you clean them.
Right. You got to put them in the dishwasher.
Dick's in the
I don't
dishwasher.
The spoons, you know.
Right.
That'll be-
So it's a
Yeah, I keep
Instead of ride the mutton, Derek, it'll be Dick's in the dishwasher. Is what
Oh, Lord.
we'll have to
I'm crying now.
hashtag this one.
I always think of me, myself, and Irene when he sees it. He's like, "Oh."
Oh, God.
All right, so who wants to get back to some draft talk? We're less than a week
Yeah.
away from the NFL
Yeah.
draft.
We got
Hey, I got a new beer, by the way. You guys want to know? Just
Yeah, we
real
do.
quick, this is a Flying Bison, which is a Buffalo company. Chocolate cherry porter.
Hold on, have Joe put it up to the camera because
that's me right there.
he gets it like right
That's
in
got
the
my name
camera.
written all
You
over
talk
it.
about it, yeah.
Chocolate cherry porter, 8%. It's
Oh,
we have
man.
a local chocolatier here called Fowler's Chocolates, and Fowler's
Yeah, it's a logo on there.
down at the bottom. And this is
How
a
is it?
little tasty brew. It's got some chocolate notes to it. It's
Glenn,
a
I'm going to have to
little
give you
filling.
my address and have you send me that. That sounds like something good right there.
Yeah, it's
And
I'll-
are they
I'll
really
bring
called
my,
a chocolatier?
that's what I mean. Willy Wonka was a chocolatier. Am I
Okay.
right?
Very
But,
famous one.
you know,
Well, I was going to say, if it's not called that, they should be because it sounds awesome.
Fowler's
Yeah, that's-
Chocolatiers.
That's a legit term.
Okay.
Mhm.
We got a few of them here, and Fowler's is pretty good. We got a place called Platters, which also does chocolate inspired drinks with other breweries in the area. Buffalo's got kind of this boom with local breweries right now.
What is Cincinnati?
Yes,
Yeah, I was gonna say I have a local
We've been
brewery,
through that boom
Sons
before.
Of Toil,
Yeah.
Sons of Toil Brewing Company, 10 minutes from my house. If you're watching, hit us up. We would love to drink your beer on air. Just saying.
Shotgun.
Hit them up on Twitter, man.
That's the way to do it right
Yeah.
there. Is you have them.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Gotta
critique
shoot your
beers.
shot.
Yeah, I'll go up there before we have Mo Edgar on and say, hey, I'm gonna drink your beer on our show. Come watch.
I'm going to drink your beer on my show and come watch. Like,
Yeah, see if we can get him to
So yeah, he needs to
I'm going
record
to
a
drink
video.
your cum on my beer. How about that?
Don't let Dale do this.
Anyway,
Stop him. Cut the mic.
There went any monetization on this podcast.
Dale, you should probably sit a few plays out. Sit the next few plays out.
It's kind of like when Derek started talking shit about the Jeff Weiler's daughter on that one
I was
episode.
not talking shit. I just said
There's like children behind me.
And I said, well, I was trying to get a sponsorship from Jeff Weiler's, but forget it.
Yeah, but anyway, we talked a little bit about the first round, and my son's shaking the camera. But what's your guys' thought? So let's go into the second round a little bit. What do you think the target will be for second round?
Whoever they didn't get in the first.
Yeah,
There's the
exactly.
answer. Tell me.
All right, somebody
tell me
right
who
here
the
is
first
wanting to say hi.
62
real
picks
quick.
are.
Yeah, I'm definitely out of this conversation because, number one, I love listening to everybody talk about the draft, so I know what to expect. But then it always feels like the draft goes another way. Now I feel like we have a lot fewer holes than we've had in years past. So it's like, hey, I get to sit back and enjoy it and just watch and get excited. I don't care if they call my wife's name in the 5th round. I could just start cheering like, yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, they finally put themselves in a position like a lot of us have been banging the table for years of you don't have to wait till the draft to get a need. You can do what you want to do now. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
This is the ideal. The only better position would be if they were doing this from 32. Not that I need to go into that, but this is it's a very envied position.
Damn it, Santori. You can't say that. Bengals Cap, we fucked him up earlier talking about that shit.
What?
Talking about the Rams. The Bills opening against the Rams. He's Talking about
Is that why he just did he
potential
just take a
pictures.
shot when
He
you
mu-
talking
I
about
think
It's
I
just
think
a trigger word. It's
I was
automatic.
going to say, anytime somebody says the R word.
32, I see the cat breaking down a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry.
All right.
I will do it again.
I do, to try to wrap around with the whole draft thing. I do think the reason that maybe we try to take a defensive tackle like a Logan Hall, or maybe even Wyatt from Georgia slides to 31, even though he's 24 years old. Maybe you take that guy because I don't know if anyone's going to be available in the second to take. Ideally, you take a corner. I mean, from our needs, you take a corner in the first round, and you take a defensive tackle 3-tech in the second round.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing to remember
is
is
tackle in the second round.
I would be absolutely shocked if at some point in this draft, especially round 2, 3, 4, somewhere in that earlier middle part, that they don't trade back. I mean, this is, I think, the least amount of draft picks the Bengals have almost ever had going into a draft. And they've shown a tendency over the last 10 years that they're willing to trade back. They're going to get another pick or two in the 4th or 5th round.
But sometimes they go straight with their 7 picks and they're fine with it. They have 8 picks right now, so that's not that bad.
I think the 2020 draft, they didn't have very many draft picks, did they? And they stuck with every single one of them. Yeah, they had. That's what I thought.
Just tell me I'm wrong. It's okay.
Well, that's what I did. All right, Joe, what's your thoughts on Logan Hall at 31?
I'm for it.
And do you think there's anybody that's going to be there at 63 at 3-tech that would be worth picking? Because I don't think Logan will make it.
This is always the time of year or the time of draft season where nobody's going to be there in round 2 or round 3. That's how it always feels because everyone gets pushed in the round 1. Joseph Masai, who I had as the top 32 guy last year, is there at the top of round 3. So there's going to be guys that get pushed down. There's going to be guys because there's going to be a bunch of reaches. For every 20 picks, there's going to be 5 reaches that you don't even care if that guy went off the board. You weren't even considering him anyway. So it's going to push guys back. First, Logan Hall, I think he'd be a tremendous fit. The thing about defensive tackle and why we talk about it so much is because they used B.J. Hill and Larry Ogunjobi so much last year.
With 5 front line.
Exactly. Right. They're down there with 5-man fronts with basically B.J. Hill or Ogunjobi at 5-tech. So we talk about 3-tech a lot, and can that guy play 3-tech? They need a 5-tech. They need a guy that can be head over tackle. And I think that's where Logan Hall would be perfect for their base, 3-4-5-2 defense. And then he's going to kick inside and rush the passer from inside. And right now, if you had to line up in nickel, assuming Joseph Osai is healthy, it would probably be Osai on the edge. You'd kick Hubbard inside. It'd be B.J. Hill next to him and then Hendrickson on the other edge. But what if Osai's not completely ready? What if he's not giving you that impact?
Or anyone gets injured, Or if anyone gets injured.
Right, or if anyone gets injured. So then you would put Logan Hall inside next to B.J. Hill, and that would be your most athletic interior guy. So I think it makes a lot of sense to go that way in 31. Will there be a guy there at 63? I think there's a couple guys that could be interesting, and that's Marvin Leal and I don't want this.
It's the dog.
He's got that underbite. I don't want that on me, But the Marvin Leal or Perrion Winfrey both could be like. I think Winfrey reminds me a lot of Ogunjobi, whereas DeMarvin Leal reminds me more of like because he played a lot of end. He played outside the tackle a lot, but kicked inside. He did a lot. He moved around a lot for Texas A&M. It reminds me more of like a Frosty Rucker for them, where he can play some end and kick inside and rush from inside. And I think both those guys fit what they would like. We don't have a complete profile on Winfrey because he didn't test. He just ran his 40 and went home like Deion Sanders, which is a really good 40. But Leal is a more complete prospect profile right now, and I think they can go that way.
Now we got Iceman coming on here. Now
Iceman. I was like, is this his grandma?
He's got a typo.
Before he even comes on here, I'm going to tell you, I already know his first round pick, his second round pick, his third round pick, his fifth round pick. He's going Linderbaum first, second round.
What happened with the fourth?
Hold on, the Iceman, man.
Let's go. What's going on? What's going on, Jeff? How are you?
Put a grandma wig on. Come on, Iceman.
Iceman.
What up, boys? Yeah, Linderbaum, number one. Exactly.
Linderbaum.
Yeah.
Iceman, what jersey are you wearing right now? Let's see that thing.
There it is.
Oh,
Look at that.
Okay.
Shooter! I didn't get my earbuds. That'd be like a lot easier to hear you guys.
All right, we'll bring you back on a couple minutes.
Yeah, we'll bring you back on real quick before we bring Iceman back on.
Maybe he'll change his name.
I had a question for you because I know you have the same. I think you have the same love for this man that I do, but I want to know first of all,
who are you talking to?
What
Right.
I said, Joe.
Stamos.
I want to know what your thoughts are on.
I was like Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds?
I already said Joe.
Love Ryan Reynolds.
I want to know what your thoughts are on Daxton Hill, but that's not the guy I'm talking about. The guy I'm talking about is one of my favorite guys in the draft, and he is the next, in my opinion, the next.
Hello, Nana.
Hey, Nan.
Hello, Nana. The next Geno Atkins, and by Geno Atkins, I mean the late round pick that is going to be an absolute steal in Curtis Brooks.
Oh, yeah. I can go on about Curtis Brooks for a while, man. The fact that he wasn't invited to the combine is wild. Crazy.
Yeah.
You already did go on. You had like a 12-page thread about him earlier this week.
I did. And on the lockdown, they let me go for like 5 minutes just saying how much it's crazy that he didn't get invited, and that's how he's gonna get drafted in like the 6th or 7th round if he's drafted, and because those guys typically don't get picked if they're not invited. But yeah, I would take him. I think he's fantastic. I had the most fun of any player I watched on film this year was with Curtis Brooks. So
why wouldn't someone, Joe? Like, why wouldn't someone take him in the 5th? Like a guy on the rise, he has a good profile. 5th round picks don't always pan out. Yeah. Like, I think Curtis Brooks in the 5th would be like, hey, that's the guy you take a shot at.
And maybe he would, but maybe someone will. I mean, the way he grades out for me, I'm like, yeah, if you want to take him in the 4th or 5th, go ahead. Yeah. Just history shows those guys aren't probably picked that high usually. So I don't know, man. I don't know how this happened. I feel like there's something we don't know about why he's off everyone's board.
Yeah, and Dave Lapham was talking to Coach Fickle. I don't know if you guys listened to that podcast or not, but he was talking about Curtis Brooks, and what they basically asked Curtis Brooks to do was more or less just take up space so all the other guys can get in, and he was more than happy to do that. And they even said that they didn't use him the way he thinks that he'll be used in the NFL.
Oh,
so
I agree.
I see a lot of high potential upside for that guy. But what
also 24 years old, just so we're aware, because we talked about it Wyatt.
Yeah. But I could see the Bengals, if they pick him in the Dale was saying, the 5th or 6th round, I could see him going, maybe 200 snaps on defense for the Bengals, and then my personal opinion, what I want to see happen is Daxton Hill getting picked in the 1st round. What's your thoughts on Daxton Hill?
He's as safe of a safety prospect as you can find in terms of athleticism, size, production, age, everything you're looking for in a profile. He's almost A+ at every single thing. There's some people that think he can play boundary corner. We don't get to see it enough. You do see him play slot a lot, and he's really good there and productive there. I don't know. I mean, like, if you draft him, are you saying he's going to be a boundary corner, or are you going to say he's going to be like a wild card position and we'll figure it out, and then if Jesse Bates is gone, he'll be free safety, and you go from there?
Yeah, that was kind of my thoughts, because I read a prospect profile, I think, of Joe Marino was talking about it, and Joe Marino believes that this guy can play any position in the defensive backfield, and that was my whole thought was, hey, if he is our safety to potentially replace Von Bell or Jesse Bates, right, or if he is able to in year 1 beat out any of those guys, I just think that I love the position versatility that this guy holds.
Back at you, Glenn.
Hey, anybody pick up their draft day gear yet? Look at this Bills draft day hat.
Hey,
Oh, yeah, I
that
got
is-
one.
That is nice.
This
I have
this
one,
stuff-
but
these hats
looks
are
like-
attractive as shit.
looks like
dude.
Cap went to go get his. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I got
one
mine. Hang on, I got mine. Hang on. I got it. I gotta go find it. Hold on.
Okay,
Hold on.
everybody go get their draft hat.
Yeah, take me
I
off.
don't have one.
Here,
But,
take me
There
off
it
real
is,
quick.
right there. I see.
Cap's got his.
Look at that
All
one.
right.
That
Hey,
is
I gotta get
right
mine.
there. I was going to say I had one, and I ordered the flat bill, thinking that I loved it, but it turns out that I am not a flat bill fan like I thought I was. I like it like Captain's right there, slightly creased, slightly creased.
They have three options. They got the one like Cap, slightly creased. This one here is the snapback, and then they have a fitted flap rim version.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I picked this one up at Lids in my local mall.
That thing is sharp.
They had a little
Joe-
throwback feel to them. I like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Joe,
I
I
love
want to
that. I
ask
love
you
the
a
draft
question that maybe you can just clear this up. This is not even necessarily draft related, and if you don't want to answer it, don't answer it.
Okay.
Did Paul Daner steal your work and not give you any credit in one of his most recent articles? No, I'm just saying it's floating out there, and I'm getting people asking me that. But if you don't want to even speak on it, that's fine.
I don't know how to speak on it, to be honest with you. I'll speak on what people sent me and said to me, and what kind of how it, what it transpired. But there could be some crossover on ideas and research. That is going to happen when the information.
It always happens.
Right.
If you're watching the same stuff, like
right, and the data is whoever's got a subscription can mine the data and take the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it could happen, but it's like people are like, dude, this is verbatim right here, and I'm like, it does feel that way. And
okay, I didn't know. People have asked me, and I said that's why I wanted to phrase it that way. If you didn't even want to mention it,
That's why Dale's got the hate blockers on right now.
I would say
so
though,
he can throw shade and not give a shit.
I would say though, he doesn't follow me on Twitter, so like he probably wouldn't have seen the stuff I posted. But at the same time, maybe he should, so he wouldn't waste 8 hours doing the research himself.
there you go.
Yeah, but he follows a lot of us though. So we retweet your stuff, so he might have found it for one of us.
I was about to say all it takes for Twitter is for someone that he follows to like your post for him to see it. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, gentlemen, really quick, it's been nice. I need to go. My wife just got home, and I think this is enough football to blow her brains out. So,
all right,
out of here.
Hey, be good or be good at it. Give her that. Give her that.
Good seeing you, Santori.
Yeah, give her that long
Santori,
D.
shout out all your stuff real quick.
Oh yeah, so my dad and I have a very small podcast that we're hoping to grow called Rally Round the Natty. It's mainly just Bengals and Reds. Sometimes we highlight some Bearcat stuff, but we think it's somewhat unique just because it's me and my dad, and it's more or less just front porch bitching for about an hour and a half.
The number one father-son duo podcast
for Cincinnati sports.
If we keep adding all these subcategories, we're all going to win
That's what I'm
Grammys.
saying.
Exactly.
Let's narrow them down. Tyler is going to give us all awards next year. We just keep narrowing it down. All right. Santori, see you, bud.
See ya.
See you, bud.
He's one of the smartest dudes that followed me and talks football with me over the years. So if he's going to talk some football on there, I'm sure you're going to learn something from his podcast.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Is this your wife?
Yeah, Ashley.
I'm Santori's wife.
Hi, Ashley.
She can't hear you. I got a headset on. But
yeah. They all said hi.
They all said hi.
Hey.
She said thank you.
I owe you a hug too, just for my.
Okay? Well, you know when y'all come down, we'll get our hug. Okay.
Hey, we already know what the opening ceremonies for the Buffalo Cincinnati tailgate Olympics are, right?
I'm gonna hug you. I'm gonna hug you so hard.
My wife already left the room.
I'm gonna put my bottom teeth into your earlobe and tell you I'm so sorry.
Who told you I like that? Like,
oh God.
That's our little secret.
All right. I'm gonna get off here before it gets even weirder.
Let's go to.
So, hey, Glenn, and Joe, you guys have you guys told Era the opening ceremonies of the Buffalo Cincinnati tailgating party we're having?
The dildo tossing.
No, we're throwing.
No. We're putting arrow through a table.
Yeah. Arrow's going through a table.
Everybody's going through a table, baby. We're gonna powerbomb his ass right through there.
But there's an entire Olympics. There's the dildo tossing competition.
Yes.
There's so many things.
Shotgun a can of chili.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh God. Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. Exactly.
Oh gosh, that's
We also here in Buffalo we take shots out of ass cracks.
Right.
Oh God, no! I don't know about that
I'm
now.
game
It's
for
gonna be
that
Dale's
one. Oh
ass
wait.
crack.
Well, we gotta have cornhole in this somehow.
How are we going to know if we're eating chili or out of my ass crack sometimes?
You want to mix that.
If
It might be both.
Skyline chili, it's gonna be runny. It could be pretty.
Oh God.
Hey, don't talk shit about Skyline Chili, damn it!
You never know what kind of morning I'm having.
Jeff likes
Oh Lord.
I'm
That's
hoping
rough.
that's a primetime game, by the way. The NFL will totally fuck shit up if this
Yeah.
is not a primetime
Oh, yeah.
Bills.
I
Yeah.
don't see how.
Right. That's
Okay.
what we were talking
I
about that on my
don't see-
show when you came on.
Yes, absolutely. When I was on with Jeff, it
There's
needs to be a
Jeff.
primetime show.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't
Cap's
see
back
how.
there.
I think Cap's bored.
Cleaning the lawn. Oh, he's got the
Yeah,
gun.
I don't see how the Chiefs game, the Bills game, honestly,
Right.
the New
Ravens.
Orleans game. There's like 5 or 6 games this year that I don't see how they're not prime time or at least like a later time, like 4:30 game.
I'd be surprised if they show very many NFC matchups at all on primetime this year.
Where
The
you?
AFC
Yeah,
is
you are.
front
Yeah, my dog.
loaded, loaded. They've got all the flash right now. There's a few NFC teams, obviously, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals had 4 to 5 primetime games this year.
Oh, I believe that for real. Yeah. Well, the one I'm worried about is they're talking about moving one of the ones to England, the one or overseas. The one I don't want them to move is the one in Tampa
Bay.
because I'm going.
I think-
I'm planning on going to it.
I think Tampa is a potential Germany game, and then
what I
the
heard.
New Orleans game is the potential for the game over in London.
Yeah. Hey, Cap, you bored? I haven't seen you in a little while, buddy. How you doing? It's nice to see you. You know, I used to talk to you like every Monday, and I never see you anymore. I miss you.
I miss you too. I missed all of you. I was telling everybody, it's been cybersecurity and Elden Ring, so it's been exciting. Which Elden Ring is a video game. You probably don't know.
I'm glad you know me so well. I'm like, I have no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I believe you.
Wow, you literally said, Jeff, you're old as fuck. You have no idea what I'm talking about.
I guarantee you, I am the oldest one here. I guarantee you that. I'm 47. Yes, I guarantee you, I'm older than all you guys.
You're the only one with gray in your beard right now.
What?
I use just for men, so.
Yeah,
Don't
I
make
just
me
trimmed it
get
up.
closer to the screen.
I got a notification yesterday, guys. The last time we were on the show, I left and I bought a Von Miller jersey because I got drunk on your show. And
I remember.
And I bought that Von Miller jersey. It
fun.
finally shipped yesterday. I
Oh
was
wow!
wishing it would be here for tonight so I could share the influence.
I have a question. Did you guys see the picture I got to tweet out today? That the opportunity I was able to do today. I got a picture with the AFC Championship trophy, and I got a picture on the throne. So I finally got to be up there with Cap and Jeff.
I hadn't seen that.
Yeah, I saw that. That looks like a lot of fun. What if you want to go ahead and plug that? What exactly was going on over there?
What it was through the United Way. It was something that they had, and they did a really bad job of promoting that because I didn't even know about it. As a season ticket holder, I didn't get an email or anything. My wife, actually, one of her coworkers, told her.
Well, don't worry, you won't get an email next year after you're talking shit about him.
Well, they should do a better job of it. I mean, I'm going to put a video out of it and put it on my channel, so I'm going to promote it for them. Hopefully, next year we're going to have the Lombardi. That we're going to have the sorry, Glenn, we're getting the Lombardi. Just letting you know, but we're going to get the Lombardi. So we'll have that.
You got the rock eyebrow. Nice.
Yeah.
If you smell. Anyway, but yeah, it was cool.
Okay, I gotta say something real quick. A couple weeks ago, we had on Angelo Dawkins on our show, and ever since then, my Twitter has been nothing but WWE stuff. I don't know if
are you saying Twitter follows what you say and then they promote things on your
timeline? Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Mind blowing there, Derek. Wow.
You had who?
Angelo Dawkins.
Street Profits.
The Street Profits.
Yeah.
That was such a fun episode.
Holy shit. Me on Twitter.
And he actually he couldn't join tonight because I wanted him to come on and give his prediction. He said they're on the road, which they're always on the road most of the time. But his prediction is also, Jeff will like this, Tyler Linderbaum for his
baby! Let's go!
There's a whole crew of Bengals fans in WWE.
Yeah.
It's insane.
But he was awesome. Like, he was amazing. Like, he was just the most down-to-earth guy in the world. Like, I don't know. It was great, man. I feel like I'm friends with him. Like, I'll just message him. Like, I was messaging about the Cavs. Like, who you think's going to win tonight? They're playing.
It wasn't the Cavs. It wasn't the Cavs.
It wasn't, and he also said it wouldn't be. And I said, I don't think it'll be either. But I literally messaged him, and I was like, I might be over 7 because I was like, fuck you. Fuck you.
If anybody watched the mock draft, that we did, the 32-team mock draft, at the end of the
nobody watched your 32-team mock draft there. No, we all turned it off after that.
Yeah. At the end of the episode, Dale started watching the Cavs game, and
yeah. Well, I was at the end of the game. I was like, there's like 2 minutes left of the game, so
yeah.
And I was just cussing. I thought Derek would cut it. He kept it.
Yeah, I just left it all there.
You guys, you just had the appearance of Josh Allen in the background there. Josh, I saw Josh,
the real one.
Yep.
I had to go to the bathroom, so I brought 6-foot Josh over to hold my place.
That's what I have to do. I'm gonna let you guys see the picture of my woods for a while.
Whoa! As he zooms his camera down, he's like, "I'm gonna let you see a picture of the forest and the trees." Oh,
yeah.
I thought he said a picture of my wood.
Right.
That's what I thought he said.
Right.
I thought he was talking about something else. I was about to say, this ain't OnlyFans.
No, that's Cap's gig.
Yeah, exactly.
All is the pick. Just said down at the bottom.
Only Nan.
Onlynans.com.
All right. I'm going to try to continue to circle this back to being relevant. Do you guys have 20 more minutes? Because I said we'd try to make this a 2-hour episode, the first ever.
Yeah. Am I hearing somebody peeing right now?
His
This is the first ever piss taken on the fucking podcast. Put him in the background.
Oh my God! Oh man! Hey, Bengals and Brews. This is what you get here. Oh Lord!
Goddamn!
Oh man!
You don't get this anywhere else.
Oh.
Everybody else more professional. We're just like letting people take a fucking piss.
Cap knows what to do right there. He's on mute.
Yeah, that way you didn't hear me.
There he is.
Jeff, you just pissed live on air.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Like a racehorse.
Oh man,
yeah.
Shit,
Anyway.
it's extreme.
Dude, I'm telling you, you get older, that bladder you can't hold it as much as you used
It
to.
sounded like you were pissing off a ladder, dude.
Yeah.
No, it was a very short. The water was really cold, hushed.
Yeah.
oh man.
That's why you need the ladder.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, back to what I mean. Let's try to circle this thing back. I
was going to talk about relative athletic score. Like I've got notes here. And
then all
of a sudden it's just like, wait, someone's pissing.
Note to self: if you gotta use the restroom, these things right here, here, they should probably stay where they are.
Like these?
Or mute, or hit mute.
These things?
Yeah.
Well, usually, streamer, usually when you take them off the channel, you can't hear anything. I thought so. Apparently, I was wrong. Oh well.
I'm just glad he had to had to take the number 1 instead of number 2. That's all I'm saying.
That would have been horrendous.
Oh God!
You might have heard some. You might have heard some other stuff you wouldn't want to hear then.
Oh Lord!
See, I'm sure you guys are having. You guys are having. I can tell when I got on, you guys are having a great draft discussion. You know, Derek and Joe were going at it, and I just effed it all up for you.
Yeah.
So relative athletic score.
Relative athletics.
Joe, do
Hey, I had that guy on my show this week.
Yeah.
Math bomb.
I have
Fantastic
shout out
mustache.
Kent Lee Platt Math Bomb on the notes.
Yeah.
Fantastic mustache. That's all I gotta say.
And top hat. He wears the top
Yep.
hat just like on the bomb. It's quite
The
incredible.
bowler. No, it's a bowler. You got to get it right. It's not a top hat. It's a bowler.
What?
I'm never
What's
going to
the
get that
difference?
right. I'm sorry, Kent Lee Platt. I'm never going to fucking remember to say it's a bowler.
It's
I'm
a bowler.
sorry.
It's a bowler.
Nothing personal.
He said it.
I ain't going to remember that.
He said it on the show, Dale. Why were you not watching it? It's a bowler. God. Jeez.
I still ain't going to remember it.
Did Abe Lincoln wear a top hat or a bowler?
Hey, did you say Abe Lincoln or Abe Blinken?
Hey, Blinken.
Hey,
A Blinken.
Abe Lincoln.
That is maybe one of my favorite Robin Hoods.
Or Lincoln.
Hey, Blinken.
Listen. My wife's not here right now, so normally I don't get made fun of for the way I talk, but hey.
Oh, I did this week.
Oh yeah, Joe's got an
At this point, honestly, I don't even know who this comment's referring to, but it's probably all accurate.
Uncultured swine. That's all of us.
Fair.
Cheers. I'm good with that. I like it. Yep.
That was one
Anyway.
of the sponsors. That was
Glenn, where you at? Glenn, where you at? Glenn, come on.
Miller Lite, checking in.
That's not Miller Lite.
Dale, check with
Rye guys.
because they're fucking talking shit right now. They just called us.
I got Rye guys.
Miller Lite's talking shit. I will fucking smoke them fools. I told them last week that they're going to miss the best opportunity of their life not to sponsor this show.
Did they listen?
Well, I'm not worried about that.
Anyway, math bomb.
Keep the pace.
Wait,
Joe,
what are we talking about again?
Does it seem like there is more people this year with higher scores on the RAS, the RAS, the relative athletic score than most other years?
You know, it's a great way to clear that up. It's relative. So it's relative to the rest of the athletes in the class.
Raz.
Has there ever been 3 10s in one class? Do you know?
No, probably not. No.
Okay. It's kind of what I was getting at.
Yeah, no, there's definitely, I think you're seeing more to answer seriously, because relative does mean there is a relative to the class, relative history. So you will see that if you go through the history of it on his website. So you can see, like, even a guy that may have been like a 6.5 back in 1999 is now a 7.3 based on history, because guys have tested worse than what he did.
Okay, you're going to have to teach me how to work that site, because I was on it the other day and I was like, I know there's more data than I'm getting here.
There's a lot.
Yeah. Okay. So I do need to know that. But I just thought,
ice cave.
There's at least 3 10s, right? We all know Jordan Davis being 6'6", 340. That was incredible. And then Jelani Woods, which I don't think he plays that way. And then the third one was Zion McCollum, who's a corner. So I kind of thought he could be a guy that if they don't take somebody in the first and they go like a Logan Hall, okay, how early would you take a Zion McCollum?
Let me go look real fast for you. I got his numbers and stuff right here. We've got Zion. Excuse me. I've got a take rate of 74, which means it looks like a 4th round kind of guy maybe could develop in a number 2 type corner. It's a small school, so you kind of have to protect a lot, right?
He did play at the Senior Bowl though, right?
Yeah, and he was all right. And he's got a twin brother too, actually, but not a 10 out of 10.
On the same team, right?
Yeah. McCollum's 23 also. He's turned his birthday should be any one of these days now. He'll be 23 years old, and that's kind of late for corner. You typically want to draft him a little bit younger than that, because the peak age is 24 to like 27 at corner. So he better be ready to come in and play from a small school. Makes it tough. I think he goes 3rd round. Long story short, but yeah, that's a guy you roll the dice on that has production and that has crazy testing ability that maybe puts it all together for you.
Any thoughts on which I don't know if you've seen, the Bengals had their local pro day. So Ruckert was still in a cast, but he had some FaceTime with Mike Brown, which I thought was smart. Like, why wouldn't you go meet the owner? And Kobe Bryant wasn't on that list, which I'm glad, Jeff, you're on here while I'm asking this question, because I know that's like your best friend.
Yeah, I know. Everybody on here knows I'm a big Kobe Bryant fan, and
spells it different, Glenn. It's Coby.
Yeah, it's Coby. I screwed that up one time and spelled it with a K, and everybody's like, "That's not the way he spells it." Like, all right, sorry.
It's okay. I called Alex Pierce. So
yeah, I know a Bearcat fan, and I called him Alex. I'm like, I know it's Alex.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean,
Kobe actually won what, the Thorpe Award for best corner.
Best corner. Yeah,
he won an award, but
right. That's the thing I keep saying. I'm like, he won the award for a reason, and the thing is, nobody ever threw to Sauce, so everybody threw to Kobe, and I know. Everybody can throw in my face, the American Athletic Conference, yada, yada, yada. I understand that. But it's still, he got almost 90% of the balls that they threw it toward Kobe. So that's where I'm huh?
I was going to say, he's 23 also, same thing.
Yeah.
He tested relative athletic score 55th percentile. So, you typically want someone tested a little bit better than that. Also ran a 4.54, which is a little bit slower than what you want. And I want to say, I'm just going over right now. Kobe Bryant, 15 penalties in his career. That's the second most of all these corners in the draft.
One question I was going to ask about him, and hopefully somebody has this answer, but who are the best receivers that he's went up against, and what was the production like on that?
You'd have to look it up. I couldn't.
I don't have it off the top of my head either. Because I know we played against Alabama, we played against Georgia, but
Notre Dame,
yeah. But did he go up against their number ones? Because I know somebody was talking though, because they were saying some teams would say, okay, we're going to put Sauce Gardner, we're going to put a scrub on him and put our best guy over on Kobe's side, because we know not the
9% of the time that's what they did. I mean, honestly, that's what they did. Now, I can ask you guys. I want to ask you guys this question real quick. This is what's been bugging me since the playoff game with the Bearcats. Did everybody watch? Everybody watch college football playoffs? Everybody watch it here? All right.
No.
Well, I watched enough until I knew that what the outcome was going to be.
So I have a question. All right, wait. Alabama just ran the ball down UC's throat. Mm-hmm. And you have arguably the two best corners, in my opinion, in college football. Why the hell wouldn't you stack the box and make them throw it? Because that's what I was screaming at the TV about that. Like, you got Sauce Gardner, who could be a top 5 cornerback. You got Kobe, who's going to get drafted as well. No matter if it's second round, third round, fourth, whatever. He's still going to get drafted in the NFL. You got 2 NFL cornerbacks. Why wouldn't you stack the box and make them throw it? I mean, I know we're doing NFL draft here, but this is just something that's bugged me since then.
Bengals Cap's got a fire going.
He does.
It looks like he does, yeah.
And his face looks so pretty with the glow from the fire.
It does.
I mean, just to be honest.
Just got a brand new fire pit. So I was running around trying to turn it on for the first time.
I was going to say, is it propane or is it the
propane?
Okay. I keep trying to talk my wife into getting the propane one, but she, for some reason, she's like, but the kids. And I'm like, we have a gas grill. What's the difference between a gas grill and a propane, or a propane grill and a propane fireplace? I really don't.
I got a propane.
Don't understand it.
I have a propane one. My kids don't go near it. It's just, you can feel the heat. They just don't want to be near it.
Yeah.
My kids turned my gas grill on last year, and I didn't notice, right? Because they're out there playing, they're cooking, and then I'm like, what the hell?
That's a whole love-making mood, Cap.
Oh, look at that! I can hear it now.
Got to break out the slow, deep, and hard.
He's got his feet up on the edge of that propane fucking fireplace, taking photos right now.
Oh, he's gonna make so much money tonight.
Yeah. There's a little fire in the background. The toes are warm. His only Nans account is going nuts right now.
Oh God!
Roasting marshmallows.
With his toes. He's got 4 going on right now.
The sticks are between his big toe.
Yeah, he's got the sticks between his toes.
I hope nobody saw that. Oh,
Is the best mid-round corner prospect Alontae Taylor? That's a question.
Did you hear that one?
Yeah, I'm looking to see what my rankings are. Yeah, maybe, I guess. I would say, what's mid-round? Third and fourth round? Yeah, maybe it's Alontae Taylor. And that's a good. But Bengals don't need a slot guy, but Marcus Jones out of Houston is really good.
Hey, I told you that's my guy, and
I know.
that was before you ever, really got into the process. So I did want to ask you that, what you ever thought of him or
He's
how
a
early.
slot guy through and through, but he's a great return man. He's a playmaker, and, it's just they don't need a slot guy, so it kind of makes it tough. He'd have to be the second corner they take.
Yeah, I don't think you could take him in the second, and I'm not sure he'll be there any later than that. I don't think he'll be at the end of the third.
Right.
okay.
But if he is, that's about the earliest I think where he fits to take him.
Speaking of my guys, I want to know. So, for everyone that probably already knows, I put out a what would you do, and I was talking about a couple of players. One of the players was the Weidermeyer, the tight end. And literally,
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
I just want to say this. Listen,
daggone it.
Listen, Linda.
Then why are you bringing up stupid shit?
Right after we was talking about that, I was listening to the CBS podcast. I think it might have been the Pick Six podcast. I can't remember which one it was. But they had Emory Hunt on, which I love Emory Hunt. I love his content. I love, he does a lot of stuff for the NFL. And I think he talks about 1,000 prospects. But one of my guys was Jalen Weidermeyer. So let's get into this. Joe Goodberry.
There's nothing to get into. He's off the board.
What is your thoughts about him?
He just said he's off the board.
He actually, if you just before everything, all the testing this year, people don't know, he's a highly productive, young, he's one of the only young tight ends in this class. It's an old-ass tight end class. Actually, scroll over real quick. He's 21.4 years old. There's no one else even in the 21-year range. Everyone else.
Hey, how old is
24.
Hey, Joe, real quick. How old is Rucker out of Ohio State? How old is he?
He's
21.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
21.7.
All
right. He's young. But anyways, point is, so he shows up to the combine, he doesn't work at the combine. At his pro day, runs at 5.0740. The slowest tight end one in the NFL is a 4.76 Zach Ertz. You cannot be a productive tight end number one running slower than 4.75 is the benchmark. It's surprisingly one of the most athletic heavy. You need to be an athlete at tight end or you will not work as a number one type tight end. So when he ran that, teams were just all right, man.
Well, it's not like he's an elite blocker either.
No,
so to compare him to an O lineman, you're running an O lineman time.
Yeah.
But you can't block like one, so there's not even any potential to move him, and his frame's not that, and nothing.
Maybe I should have rephrased the question. My question was, what is it about this guy that why did he test so bad, and why is he still one of Emory Hunt's guys? Which Emory Hunt is like I said, I value his opinion on players, so I want to know where am I finding what about this guy does Emory Hunt love?
He's got great hands and he's extremely productive. He looked on tape. I thought people were going to look at him as a fourth round guy, that could maybe have the upside.
Didn't he have a lot of drops this year though? I thought that was
I do have his drop rate actually. Yes, real quick. Yep, drop rate for him is 9.2% in his career. That's below average, but it's not terrible. Before you ask, Iceman, Jeremy Rucker, 3.6%, one of the best in the league drop rate.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think just
you're adding a guy for Iceman's 3 rounds.
You know what? You know who I would compare Weidermeyer to is Paul Dawson, where people still love Paul Dawson on tape, but he showed up to the combine and absolutely imploded to the point where it's he shouldn't have been drafted even in the third
It's
round.
a Paul Dawson Vontez perfect combo. Vontez tested himself out of being drafted.
Yeah.
And he had I think
but it's like Paul still went in third round, so I feel like it's a combo. Who knows? He has the potential to maybe carve out a career for himself, but at the same point in time, I could easily see that guy.
But it's why they get undrafted. It's because the chances of him hitting now are like 1%.
Slim.
So like you just can't do it.
Yeah.
You can't take him second round like you predicted the other day, Derek.
Yeah, I know. What the fuck was I thinking? Right? But anyway, I was just trying to give okay. So in my defense, I will say I pulled up the first NFL top 100 prospect list that I found, and it just happened to be NFL.com. So I'm like, okay, this one should be all right? And then I'm looking at all these players, and I'm like, man, they got these guys rated where they. And I'm like, all right, whatever. So I literally just went guy after guy after guy, and I'm like,
that's usually what you do most weekends.
Oh!
But yeah, it was. I don't know. I like the guy.
Nailed it.
He likes the guy.
He likes the guy.
I like Weidermeyer.
And then he went guy after guy after guy.
But
hey, Dale, take me off a second. I'll jump on my computer.
Are you going to pee again? Or are you pooping?
No, I'm going.
Are you pooping?
No, no.
I want to go on my computer.
I want to visit Pornhub real quick, right?
He's holding that toilet real tight right now. Shooting out of all holes.
He's going number 3.
But,
yeah.
What? When we're talking about tight end,
I'm stealing that one.
Yeah, we are.
What do you guys think as far as tight ends go? Who is your favorite prospect in the? I'll put it like this: in the, let's go third round, because I really don't think they'll pick a guy in the second round. What's your guys?
Tight ends are all over the board, man. I'm sure Joe would agree with me. McBride's probably going before we want to pick one.
So let's look at the consensus board. Like Arif Hassan on The Athletic does a consensus board, takes in everyone, those 60-something boards, puts it together. Trey McBride is sitting at 43. Chances are that means he might be gone at 53, right? If he goes in that range. Let's go 10 picks plus.
And Joe and I agreed, like, that's probably his range, honestly, because someone's going to take a tight end somewhere.
Yeah.
So let's say he's not there. 68 is the next guy, Greg Dulcich. UCLA. I do think that could happen maybe at 53. I think it's best if
that's
they
your second round.
Yeah, but I think that could happen if they wanted to really address tight end at that spot. Probably the best, most athletic, best after the catch receiver type tight end in this class. So, they could go that range in there. Jeremy Rucker is the next on the consensus board at 76. So does he make it to third round for the Bengals?
If he does, I honestly think that's the best fit with value.
Yeah.
Next after that is 89, Isaiah Likely out of Coastal Carolina. Again, that's right before the Bengals pick. That's in that range for third round. And then there's a bunch of guys in the hundreds that would be fourth round picks from Charlie Kohler, Jake Ferguson, Cole Turner, Cade Otton, Daniel Bellinger. I mean, Jelani Woods is the other one, right?
Yeah. Which it seems like everybody loves Jelani Woods, but actually I wanted to ask Glenn real quick. Dawson Knox, one guy that I loved coming out of the draft. If you had to look at some of these,
why don't you fucking marry him? You brought him up last time we had him on.
I know, but listen, I listened to a draft prospect profile talking about this guy, and I'm like, man, the Bengals need to draft this guy, and then we take Drew Sample, but whatever. Dawson Knox is a guy that as far as all these prospects go, what would your comparison be for a Dawson Knox like prospect?
Is somebody coming out this year that would be like
who is like
Dawson Knox?
I'll give you who the prospect is then.
Dawson Knox. He is kind of athletic. Dawson Knox over the last 3 years has done things to elevate himself. So from the day he was picked, he was a third rounder. He was a third rounder you were expecting to be a third rounder. He had some athletic ability. He had these sort of potentials. He
was raw.
He was raw. And he, over the last few years, he took ballet. He did things to work with his hands. He did things to work with his coordination. And so he sort of developed even more so than just the normal sort of team reps and things like that. So somebody coming out this year who would be particularly raw, but would have the ethic or the drive to elevate himself. So to not let his ceiling sort of collapse him, but use it to his advantage. Who would be somebody in that capacity?
You know who it is, and it's going to be Iceman's guy, obviously, because when you looked at Dawson Knox, remember they had 3 receivers on that team. They had DK Metcalf, AJ Brown, and then I can't remember the other guy. Went in like the 6th or 7th round, maybe even undrafted, but he didn't make it in the NFL. But just having DK Metcalf and AJ Brown on that roster, that's why Dawson Knox wasn't getting the passes at Ole Miss. So he was used as a blocker, rarely as a receiver. He looked athletic. He looked like he could block enough. He looked like he had good enough hands when they used him, but he didn't have the production, didn't have a lengthy resume of tape. I think that's Jeremy Ruckert, man, in round 3. But Ruckert didn't get the test. I think if Ruckert was healthy and was able to test, I think people would have been like, all right, he's an above average athlete. We can take him in round 2 or round 3. And that would be the guy that didn't have the production. We don't have that with Ruckert. He had 2 balls thrown to him over 20 yards all year. It's like you don't even I don't know that he can track that deep ball. I assume he can, but we just don't know, and that's part of the projection.
But could he work on it?
He seems like that kind.
Dawson Knox coming out too didn't have a 40 time. Right. So you don't know if he was fast or slow.
He was
but
athletic.
He was athletic. That his first year coming out, they played the Bengals. He had this crazy smashing run against Cincinnati where he smashed 2 guys.
Jesse Bates got stiff-armed into hell.
Yeah, and
Derek knows a lot about smashing 2 guys in one night.
Dude, he's gone.
Look, this is the fun we have at 158. We just make fun of Derek the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. You just sort of get that, right? You get this sort of I don't know. There's these things they start flashing. Like Brandon Beane has done a good job, including Josh Allen, of getting guys that are going to show some. They've already got this athletic ability, but they have maybe this potential to develop. Right.
Because they bring them into the culture that's going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're putting them in, and you're giving them this pace, and they're doing this, and they're developing, which is what you want. Sometimes you definitely want this guy that can come in, start day 1, and you want him to break the mold. You want him to get on scene and
hit the ground running.
Sometimes they don't, right? And you really got to give them that time to develop. But now NFL doesn't really sort of, you're ready for them to come in right now, especially these bigger draft picks, these earlier rounds, first, second, things like that. But
no doubt.
That's what Linderbaum's going to do when he comes to Cincinnati. Going to just dominate.
Right.
Jeff, how sad are you going to be if they don't take him? If he's there and they just
look, I'll put it this way. I will be look, if it's Booth, like if they take Booth instead of him, if they're both there, I'll be upset, but I'll understand. I mean, because technically you need a cornerback. I mean, if you don't want to rely on Eli Apple, I just am big on trying to completely protect Jackpot Joe Burrow, because we already saw what happens, when he doesn't have a line. If he's got an elite line, which, I mean, Joe, you're a big Linderbaum fan yourself. I mean, you came on my show to talk about how good he is.
They're going to
sold me even more
if they pass him.
Right, yeah. So I mean, that's where I'm like, if you can get him there and you put Karras at guard and you have 5 elite guys there, that's where I'm sold on that. But I totally understand the thing of trying to get a corner. I do. I mean, so I'll be upset, but I'm not going to be as upset as, people think I will be, because I just want, because I said this on my show Friday or Thursday. I don't remember. I do so many shows. I can't remember what day it was. But I'm like, the Bengals are going to draft in every round. They can draft best player available. That's the point that they're at right now. It doesn't matter what position it is. You have your board, and you go, top 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is, and that round pops up, and that guy's there. You can draft them. That's what the Bengals can do this year, and that's probably what they're going to do, no matter what we all say.
Hey, to be fair, before we get off here, are you sure you don't want to take your headphones and go take a shit to
I'm good.
have the honor of being the first guy to take a piss and then also take a shit live on air on the Bengals and Brews?
I'm good.
Okay.
Good enough.
Okay, before we hop off here, real quick, I do want to ask one question.
I just got on. Why are we hopping off now?
Yeah, I know. With the
Been on
Bengals,
for 2 hours.
I forgot.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
We always talk about following the money or following the snaps and stuff like that. We're talking about the Bengals. There's 700 defensive tackle snaps that we've got to replace. Now, obviously, B.J. Hill probably going to take that 700, so you replace the 700 with the 500 snaps that B.J. Hill played last year. So there's 500 snaps that we need to replace for B.J. Hill. Do you think that there is more of a need for a defensive tackle than there is for a cornerback? Because technically speaking, there is no snaps that need to be replaced for cornerback as opposed to defensive tackle.
Yeah, you can look at it that way for sure. I think, we've known how many years have we looked, and you get to the fourth or fifth corner every year, right? I mean, Eli was the fourth corner last year, right? So
yeah,
and they were starting basically the whole season. So you just got to be, you could say if they had the lineup today, I would argue they don't have that 5 tech on the roster that can play in their base defense. But Eli Apple can go and line up today. But your holes today, and that's the thing about drafting, everyone looks at the holes. They need to fill this, fill that. Your holes today will not be your holes September 1st. They will not be your holes December 31st. They will not be your holes in the final game you play of the year. They will not be your holes again next year. It changes so quickly that you just you have some guys in positions you want to get to, but you just got to draft the best players you possibly can.
I was just going to say my holes will still be the same next year as they were this year because I'm not Derek.
Just might be a little wider, right?
Right.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. Anybody want to promote anything?
Oh, God.
Nah. Me neither. All right.
All right, boys.
Peace out.
Good to see everybody again.
Hey, this has been the Bengals and Brews podcast. Thanks to everyone for joining in. We will do the giveaway here next week whenever the Bengals have their first. When the Bengals have their first rain pick, it sounds like we only have 3 or 4 people, so we'll figure out a way to do the
make it rain, baby. Make it rain.
Matty Meyer,
work
Bengals,
it, work it. Yeah, there you
Jackpot
go, baby.
Joey
Come on,
giveaway.
come on now.
Hey, look at that.
You can't even get the outro.
We're gonna have to get the WAP song going on here, but. Hey,